What is going on? This is Cody, and you are tuned in to B-Boy 45, broadcasting from the Seacrest Studios here at Children's Hospital, Colorado. I've got my friend Maya on the line, and it is another special edition of the latest news to keep you in the groove with Maya. Maya, who's online with us today?
Mekia Cox.
Mekia Cox, welcome! Now, of course, we know you're in the Rookie, and we're so glad that you're joining us. Welcome.
I'm glad to be here. Honestly, I was super excited to do this.
Well, Maya, it's your show, girl. Take it away.
So first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for calling in. I am so excited to be talking with you.
Thank you for having me. This is really great. What you do is really awesome and admiring. Seriously.
Oh, thank you. So my first question for you is, when did you discover your love of dance and theater?
So at a really, really young age, I had gotten on the stage at 2.5, actually, and I did my first solo song and dance. And after I came off the stage, I saw my mom. I tapped on her shoulder and I said, "Hey, you know, I really liked being up there." And so from then on, my parents knew that that's what I liked. And so they've always been super supportive of me. And, you know, we got into, dance classes, and then later on, voice classes and acting classes and all that good stuff. And I went to performing arts high school. So it's honestly, it's been my whole life that I've been doing this.
Cool. So how did that transition into acting in movies and TV?
So I was born in the Virgin Islands. That's where I first started dancing. I moved up to Orlando when I was 7. And at that particular time in Orlando, there was a lot going on in terms of like Nickelodeon and Disney. And I started doing extra work and things like that on some of those shows. And then I got some speaking roles. And, that was when I was like, oh, okay, TV. I like TV as well. Like, I like being on stage. I like doing TV. I like it all.
Oh, cool. So you play Nyla Harper in The Rookie, which is one of my all-time favorite shows.
Oh, yeah.
I watch it all the time, and especially when I'm not feeling well and I'm having a bad day. Are there any challenges for getting into character?
Well, I will say this character is the furthest away from me that I've almost ever played. People are always like, "You're just so not like your character at all." And but that is actually what makes her fun to play. However, I will say when I first started out, there was a lot going on because, I didn't join the cast until season 2. And so they wanted to introduce my character and get everyone to know my character. So I was doing a lot that first season. Excuse me. And in the very first episode, I had to play 3 different people. And my husband actually was like, in a way, it's actually kind of 4 different people, which is true, because in the very beginning of the first episode that I was in, I was undercover as a waitress because I was sort of grilling Nolan. And then after that, I was myself as Nyla, or my character self as Nyla. And then I was Crystal. So I was her. And then there was sort of an added element. This was still me as Nyla Harper. But then once I saw who my ex-husband was on the show, I realized that I had to change up a little bit of who I thought Nyla Harper was, because he's this they are very opposite of each other, but there's something that drew them to each other. So I had to figure out what that was. And I had to do that on the day because, I didn't meet whoever was playing my ex-wife until that day. So, just from my first episode, it was a lot. And then on top of it, I did a chemistry read with Nathan on, I believe, on a Monday. I found out I booked the job on Tuesday and I started working on Wednesday. So it was kind of a lot very quickly. And but somehow I got through it. Somehow. I'm really happy I did, because I really am. I love this group of people that I'm with. We're like a little family. So very happy.
Oh, cool. So what has been your favorite episode to film?
Favorite episode to film? It was kind of fun getting to do be Nyla, but the opposite of Nyla, which was more recent. The episode where I think it was maybe right after I had revealed that I was pregnant and I was having the pregnancy hormones that were causing me to be super nice and chipper. It was just fun to get to do something different and still be Nyla Harper. It was fun, but it was also challenging as well, because I had to then play Nyla how she would be if she were the opposite of what she normally is, and that was hard for me to find. But once I did, I had fun with it.
Oh, cool. Yeah. One of my favorite episodes is the season 2 episode Follow-Up Day. That is just one of my favorites. I watch
what happens in that one?
That's the one where John finds out about his half brother.
Oh, yes. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. And most recently, I love the episode Long Shot where you actually meet Skip Tracer Randy.
Both of those, had our guest stars on it, and Flula was in that last one, and Pete Davidson was, in the first one. Both of them are really great. I had so much fun with both of them, and Flula's funny. Like he'll just sometimes ad-lib stuff, and it is very hard to not laugh in the middle of a scene. And I really enjoyed both of them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I watch those 2 episodes, I always wonder how, like, in certain scenes, you guys could keep a straight face. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not easy. And usually as soon as they yell cut, I bust out laughing.
So you were in the CW reboot of 90210.
Oh, we're taking it back. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also Chicago Med and Once Upon a Time, and you guest starred in so many different shows. Mm-hmm. Of all the characters you've played, is there one that you've related to the most?
Honestly, probably Once Upon a Time, that character was the closest to who I am, I think. She was, Sabine, she was just very driven, yet still, she was just, I think, just joyful and happy about life. And I think I'm that kind of person. So getting into character for her was not hard.
Oh, cool. So I know that you were part of the national touring company for Fame. And I love musical theater. And so I was wondering, what is your favorite Broadway show?
Oh, that's a good question. Ragtime. Do you know Ragtime? It's a little bit older.
Don't.
You don't?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit older. When I was in high school, is when it was playing on Broadway, and Audra McDonald, I've loved her for forever. She's just got this beautiful voice, and something about that show just really always struck me. So I would listen to the soundtrack nonstop, knew every word. So that goes down as my favorite for sure. But other ones, let me think. I liked Lion King. That was a good one around that same time. I'm sure there are other more. Oh, and of course, Hamilton. I mean, come on. Who doesn't love Hamilton?
Yeah. It was like right when I've always loved musical theater, but it was like right when lockdown happened in 2020 that I just became obsessed, because I just found all these new soundtracks that I had never heard before, or I heard a few songs.
What's your favorite?
I have a couple, but I think I have to say, I think there are two that are tied as my favorite, and it's Spring Awakening and First Date.
Okay, nice. Nice.
So I think it was like throughout all of lockdown, I just had those soundtracks on a loop. And so I drove my mom and my sister a little bit crazy. They were on all the time, but
I know that
one. So what is your favorite song from a musical?
Oh, I have to go back to the same one from before. It was a song Audra McDonald sang, and it was a song that I sang a lot of my life. When I learned in school, and any time I went on auditions, it was the one I sang, called Your Daddy's Son. You'll have to look up Ragtime. It's a little bit, older now, but I think you would really love the music in it. It's just so grand, and it makes you feel something,
Yeah.
And that's one of those songs. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm gonna look that up as soon as we hang up. Yeah. So what song would be on the soundtrack of your life?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. I mean, I know it's a little bit corny, but Happy, by Pharrell.
Oh, yeah.
That would probably be it.
That's a good one. So what is something that people say or do that kind of always makes you roll your eyes?
Roll my eyes, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of being late. When people are late, and then when they're like super late, I give a little bit of a roll of an eye.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing about being like a little bit late. I understand that happens, but when you're like super late, then it's just like you're then taking up other people's time, and that's not okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree with that one.
Right?
Yeah. So is there a show that you're currently loving?
Oh gosh, there are lots of shows. You know what though? Recently, I don't know why I've just been on an Office binge on The Office. The show's off. You know what I mean? It's been off for a while now. But that's one of those shows that you can just go back and binge watch just because you feel like it. So
Yeah.
I'm doing that right now. But yeah, there's always stuff that I like. There's a lot of more serious like dramas that like We Crashed that's on Apple TV that I'm watching, and what is it called? I'm blanking on the name, but it's on Hulu. It's about the Elizabeth Holmes woman. I am blanking on the name right now, but yeah, they're either like super serious or like The Office.
Yeah. The show I'm binge watching right now is I'm actually watching Castle.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm watching Castle and then also rewatching all of The Rookie. So
Nice. Nice.
What do you do to turn your day around when you're having a bad day?
First of all, I try my best not to push my bad days onto other people. Sometimes there are people who are like, I'm having a bad day and I want you to know it. And I want to make sure that you feel as bad as I do. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. But I'll try and do whatever it is that makes me happy. So, either I'll focus on something at work. I, focus on saying my lines or, my character. Or if I'm at home, I do like to do a little bit of like painting or, artsy type stuff. So, I'm starting, I'm learning how to do like sort of paint on the iPad and do stuff like that. Things that will just sort of take my mind off of, the bad day I might be having.
Yeah. I usually just will like turn on one of my favorite shows. I'll like try to go for a walk and then get outside and snuggle with my dog and just watch like The Rookie or something.
Yes. So, yeah. That sounds like a great afternoon. Yes.
Yeah, I was actually just doing that earlier.
Nice.
So my last question for you is who do you consider to be a real life superhero and why?
Ooh, that's great. I think the other day we were just talking about little Malala, even though she's growing up now. I guess you can't call her little anymore. But to have the courage that she has had at such a young age, it's really kind of awe-inspiring. She's really kind of brilliant. And I do think that she's a hero for little girls, someone that they can look up to. So yeah, I'm going to say Malala.
Cool. Yeah. My mom and my sister they're just my best friends, and so my superheroes. So
actually, you know what? Now that you're saying that, my mother is actually here. She just got into town on Friday. And I will add to that. Yes, she is definitely a superhero. For sure.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I had so much fun talking to you. I don't want to hang up.
I know.
Keep adding questions.
Oh, you're so great. You're so great. This is, I know I said this before, but like, the fact that can I ask you questions?
Yeah.
how did this start? How did you begin this whole thing?
Well, I was actually at the hospital when the studio opened.
Okay.
And then for a while, I would just, every time I was at the hospital, I'd make sure my mom would have to make sure we had time for me to go into the studio.
Wow.
And then I just found out patients could do their own shows. So I started that. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and reach out to people that,
Wow.
and like
Who's
that.
your first guest?
A singer named John Clausen.
Huh? That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. All right, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you. I had so much fun talking with you.
Yay.
Take care. Thank you for spending so much time with us.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.